3:34 on a blustery Tuesday. It's the Joel Natale Show, live from our Kingdom Financial Group studio. And we're excited to have another conversation, celebrate what's different conversations with the Barber National Institute. And we want to welcome back to the show Patrick Barber, the Senior Vice President of BNI. Patrick, Happy New Year, sir.
Happy New Year to you as well, Joel. Thank you for having me back.
We're doing a year in review here, and we'd like to kind of start out by talking about some of the key achievements that you were able to accomplish here at the Barber Center.
Yeah, there was a number of things that we were able to do different this year, and brand new programs we were able to provide. So I'd like to talk a little bit about our behavioral health services. And so we were able to establish for the first time an autism group for parents that parents were able to gather at our headquarters down on 136 East Ave, and they were able to get together and have conversations about the challenges that they face. You know, the unique challenges of having a child with autism, the issues that are involved in that. Especially as it relates to other children, school districts. Finding specialized education and care. We were able to establish that. And I really think it's been a major benefit for families, because I also think we have to remember that, people with intellectual disabilities and autism, those diagnoses come with, a certain level of care that the family was not prepared for.
Right.
They did not expect that to be the reality that they would live in. And, we want to make sure that we're connecting with people, not just on the services side of things, but also emotionally, and really letting them speak their truth and their reality. Yeah,
it sounds like you have to approach it where that holistically, yes, we're going to provide services to the person with intellectual disabilities, but this entire family is in on it together, and just coping mechanisms and being able to share their reality. Huh?
Absolutely.
Wow.
And I think that's, we're not alone. Other providers like us certainly take that approach, but family engagement's really important to us. Yeah. It's something that we believe strongly in, and we doubled down on that this last year, and it's something that we want to continue to do looking forward into 2025. So, really excited to get that off the ground last year, and it was a really successful program.
Talk about the rapid response team, because I think this is really important, that knowing from the littlest of the guys, you're able to kind of do some analysis, right?
Yeah. So essentially, I guess we'll start with what was the problem? Well, the problem that the county was seeing was that there were a number of children that were having behavioral challenges that were getting expelled from preschool. And the reason was because the preschools didn't have the adequate resources necessary to provide that family and that child with what was needed to keep the child in the preschool. And of course, that dramatically sets the child back developmentally. And so, what we were able to do is partner with the county, and we are now providing a rapid response team. And so really what that is we have staff that go into the location, so it's a preschool or daycare center, and provide services on site. And so that's, a supplementing what's already being done by the daycare center or the preschool. But the intent here is we want the child to stay there. We want the child to be able to stay amongst their peer group, and be able to continue on their educational path, because we really do believe that, learning is a lifetime, but it's best for the child of any age to be, if possible, able to receive education and services at home or at their place of education, their school. So that was another big success this year. And honestly, we were able to intervene and dramatically reduce the number of suspensions and expulsions that would have occurred otherwise. And so we're renewing again for 2025, because once again, it's something that we're blessed that the county believes in us as well. And I think that what we've seen and what the county has seen is that we've been able to deliver on that that promise that we would help turn this around.
Project Search, again, another milestone in 2024.
Yeah, Project Search. So this is a program where we are trying to match children that are moving into adulthood with employers or businesses. And so the intent here is that we are trying to have individuals that are going to age out of the educational system that have a diagnosis in our space. And we're trying to get them exposed to for-profit businesses, even not-for-profit businesses, but jobs. That's really what this is all about. So that, a lot of the folks that are involved in Project Search are capable of holding a job at some point in their life, competitive employment. And so that's really what this is. And so that's, Project Search is something that I really think is important because, we don't want to miss on that critical juncture in life when you graduate, when you move on from school, and you move on to that working part of your life. And our people are the same. It's something, it's really important that we don't forget that, a person with a diagnosis of intellectual disability or autism, they're not going to be in school forever, and they have to be able to receive services throughout their life. And in the meantime, let's try to have them get involved in any way in their community.
Well, and they want to make some money. They want to be gainfully employed. And we were able to talk to some folks that were working like in Philadelphia for the Wawa, and that was really exciting to me to witness just the good work of someone that was really contributing. And honestly, when you look at it in an economic development standpoint, we need workers.
Yes.
So we need to expand the pie. Don't turn anybody down that unnecessarily, And
I agree with that. And I also think you would be surprised. The folks that we take care of and providers like us take care of, they are very capable individuals.
Absolutely.
And we want to be able to provide the accommodations that an employer must provide in order for that person to be able to be gainfully employed. And then otherwise, yes, I think that you're right. I think it's an untapped labor market. And I really, I couldn't recommend, more highly of our support employment services, and any employer that has any interest, please reach out to us. We would love to see if we could work with you. We certainly have a number of individuals that might be a good fit.
One more community garden collaboration. This is cool.
Yeah, this is it's always fun, right? We're talking about the school now, and so this is our garden in our playground area, and it's really taken on a life of its own, I will say. But we plant in the springtime. All the children are out there. We've got different vegetables and things like that, flowers, etc. But we were able then to take it to that next level. It's also just a beautiful space aesthetically, and really what we're trying to do is establish a green space for our children. And I think when it's not snowing like it is today, we do what we can to get the kids outside, being able to run around, to play, to interact with each other. The other thing too is that we have equipment now that allows for wheelchair-bound children to be able to get on swings, to get on merry-go-rounds, things like that. And so, there's really no reason why someone who has any sort of disability can't enjoy being outside and playing on a playground just like everyone else. And that's really part of what we were able to accomplish last year. And I give a lot of credit to our people over at the school. They search for every grant opportunity that you could possibly imagine, and they're very, very good at selling what it is that they're doing and then making it a reality. So thanks to them.
Patrick Barber is with us here at Celebrate What's Different, a conversation with the Barber National Institute. I want to pivot to talk about that staff. Again, this is quite the statistic here. The 11th largest Erie County employer with approximately 3,000 employees across Pennsylvania. Wow.
Yeah, we're blessed. Honestly, there's no other way to say that. And I also think it's a testament to the fact that the business that we're in, the services that we provide, it requires human to human interaction. And so when we're talking about scale, right, and growing, for us that means we need more people, more staff, more employees. I mean, there's no way I cannot provide more services without people. And so it's typically, for every, 2 or 3 individuals that are added, I need a full-time equivalent staff. So I think, but it's good. I think it's good for the community. I think the people that work there, I see some of the most caring, loving individuals that you will ever meet. Very professional and very much interested in doing the right thing. And so a lot of credit to the staff and the people that come and work for us in places like us.
You've been diligent too to make sure that wages are competitive and that the benefits and we love to talk about the barber culture, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and if we want to talk about that, I mean, really what we're trying to do is, it's a razor thin business, right? And
right.
we're not alone across the state. This is something, it's just the nature of the business that we're in, but we do everything we can to offer a competitive package from a wage rate and benefits perspective. And, obviously there's always want, there's always areas where, I wish I could do more, but we do everything that we possibly can, and we try to get creative with it too. What moves the needle on recruitment? What moves the needle on retention? And we're really trying to focus on that in this next year too. As you and I were talking offline a little bit about training, right?
Sure.
And that's a big focus of ours. We need to, and it's not just us, but we as an industry, there needs to be a focus on that people coming to work in our homes, in our day programs, in our school may not have had an interaction with individuals or children like the ones that we take care of. And so we need to be cognizant of that and be able to get people ready for day one and take that time to make it right.
It's so interesting how human services is just a special calling. And so kudos to your staff. Let's talk about moving forward into 2025, some innovations, moving the needle,
Yeah. So, what we're really looking to do is we are trying to become an organization that makes decisions based on data and information. Right now we're capturing data points all over the place, but capturing it is one thing. Taking that next step and synthesizing that data, making it usable, making it readable so someone can draw a conclusion from it. That's the next step that we need to take. But the point here is that we want to be able to make better decisions that drive better health outcomes for our individuals. That's ultimately the goal here. Healthier individual is a happier individual who doesn't need as many services, who also is able to be more independent. And so that's, strategically where we want to be. And that's, that's bigger than 1 year.
Sure.
About in 12 months, I can tell you the progress that we're making on it. But this is a sea change, not just for us, but for our industry. This is where the state of Pennsylvania would like to see all of us go. And they are actively writing regulations and rules in order to push us towards doing this.
Yeah.
But we're embracing it. I believe in this fully. I think that we as a quasi healthcare provider should be doing these things. Yeah. And I also think that there's the treasure trove of data that we're all collecting. It can be unlocked, and it can really give us a lot more insights into what's a better decision to make for an individual at any point in time.
That's remarkable, and it's all leading to greater quality of life. But you're also spending the money, the adaptive kitchen, the pool renovations. Talk about some of the things that you're investing in.
And those are also some of the fun projects that we're doing, right? Yeah. But yes, the pool project, and that's been going on now. We've had boots on the ground, construction folks working on that for a little over 16 months now. And so that the reason it's taken so long is it's an old pool. This thing was built in the 70s. The floor is actually a moving floor on a hydraulic system. And so there's certainly a lot more work that needs to be done. But we're really shooting, hopefully, for the end of the year that we'd be able to have that open and the community being able to enjoy that. The adaptive kitchen's a great one. So actually where we're putting that is what used to be called the coffee shop. And so back in the day, that's where we used to fry food and do all sorts of things like that. That kind of went out of style when like the early 2000s. And so that space has really been used as a lunchroom for staff. But, we decided let's reclaim that for the individuals and for the kids. And so what we are doing is we're going to install, and right now we are close to completion on an adaptive kitchen to have children and several of our adults learn how to cook, how to, it's a life skill, right?
Sure,
and
absolutely.
That's really part of what we're trying to do. And so I really think it's going to be a very welcoming space. It's a safe space as well. We make sure we put all the things in there that need to be in there to keep people from burning themselves and to be as safe as possible. But, on the other side, I mean, I don't know about you. I love cooking. Yeah. And I think it's something that everyone can enjoy. And I also think that this is just another dimension of the services that we can provide that's beyond just care. It's also thinking about how do we instill life skills into people that they can take with them.
No doubt. Just a couple minutes left with Patrick Barber here. And I want you to talk about something that I'm really passionate about is the state rightly forming, the reimbursement rates. And you guys are advocates not only for your clients, but really for your industry when it comes to dealing with Harrisburg, right?
No doubt. Yeah. And so you're very aware of the rate setting system that we're in. But yeah, essentially, I mean, the state takes all these assumptions that we're not exactly sure where the data points come from, that they derive these assumptions from. And so then they produce rates that they then give to us. And so it's kind of up to us then to take a look at those, study those, challenge those, appeal those. But ultimately, we are held to whatever the rate is.
And you're trying to recruit people.
Yes. And so we also have to make sure that we're able to, stay in budget, we don't overspend. Because the other thing, too, I think it was Mother Teresa that said, no margin, no mission. And I mean, that's the truth. It's, we're limited by what it is that we are able to get paid so that we can turn around and pay out. But, I think, if anything, I mean, that's what keeps me coming back. It's a fun chess match that is played. And I also do got to give credit to the people at the state level that are our payers. They're good-hearted people too. Yeah. They have pressures. They have challenges. They have a legislator. They have a governor to answer to. So, we understand that there's no doubt that what we do is inherently tied into the government. It's inherently tied into politics. And, rather than shy away from that or say, oh, woe is me. I mean, we do everything we can to say, okay, this is how the game is played. So we're going to play it. And us and a peer group of providers like us, we do the best that we can with what we got.
A solid year in review at the Barber National Institute. I appreciate it. Patrick Barber, the Senior Vice President, another Celebrate What's Different Conversations with the BNI. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Joel. I appreciate it.
It is 3:54.